This live chat. I am Katie Keller, Editorial Communications Manager with ClearanceJobs.com. And a couple of weeks ago, you saw my senior editor and I, Lindy Kaiser, talk about our campaign that we have going on this month. So for the month of June, the time is almost up. If you subscribe to the Security Clearance Careers podcast on either Google or Apple, we are going to donate $1 for each subscriber to the American Legion's 100 Miles for Hope campaign. So really exciting stuff. We love the American Legion. So today I have Jeff Daly. He is the co-host of the American Legion's podcast, Tango Alpha Lima. So I'm excited. We're going to dive into a couple of things today, including who the heck Jeff is, a little bit more on the 100 Miles for Hope campaign, and talk a little bit about the podcast. You know, we have a podcast, they have a podcast, we all love podcasts. So Jeff, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me. And I'm going to start out, if you make any facial expressions or anything, you're frozen on my end. But I can see I'm animated, and I'm my favorite thing to watch, so I'll be all good. It's great being here. It was great having you guys on our show as well. So I got to learn about a new company that I didn't know about before, and the work that you're doing, helping getting veterans employed in good jobs is amazing work. So happy to support and happy to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, we're happy to do that. Getting veterans jobs is our forte. And so you're a veteran yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the American Legion. Tell us a little bit about your post. I hear it's pretty cool. So dive in.
I think you heard that from me. So yeah, I joined the Marine Corps right out of high school, and did that thing, got out, and really didn't identify with the veteran world. I just went to college. I went to a small liberal arts college called Kalamazoo College in Michigan, and they didn't have a veteran service office or anything like that. And then moved to Chicago, moved to LA, and never did anything veteran. And I happened upon my post I was there for another event, a comedy writing workshop, and asked what the building was, because it is really cool, and found out. And then I asked more questions, and then somebody just told me, basically, oh yeah, you're joining. So I joined, and now I've been in since October 23rd, 2017. So they still call me a boot, but I'm pretty active. So I'm doing a lot of things, including helping to host Tango Alpha Lima. So I'm pretty deep in the American Legion right now, and I love it.
Cool. Well, so last time when Lindy Kaiser and I were chatting, we were discussing a little bit more about the American Legion, because it is a big organization, but there are some things that folks may not know about that the American Legion does. So could you maybe talk a little bit about, you're obviously very involved in the American Legion, so events that you guys do, other support that you're providing for the military community, veterans and their families. If you could talk about that a little bit.
The only problem with talking about the American Legion is, you try to develop an elevator pitch, but to scratch the surface, the elevator needs to be stuck for like a couple hours, and that's never a pleasant experience, being stuck in an elevator. But I mean, we run the gamut. There's Legion baseball that helps children and youth, and there's other scholarship programs like the oratorical contest, Boy State on the Legion side, and on our auxiliary side, they run Girls State and the Nation, Boys Nation and Girls Nation as well. And we do so much lobbying for Congress, helping with things like getting the exposure package passed through Congress, doing even the old school, getting the VA established, and writing the GI Bill and getting that pushed through. And we're just constantly lobbying Congress for different things. So as the needs of the military change, so does the lobbying, helping get something that you wouldn't have even thought was needed unless you needed it, is specialized body armor for female warriors. And that wasn't a thing until recently, and the American Legion helped push that through. at my post, we do a lot of things. We work with Operation Gratitude that helps get things to veterans and people still active. And we do blood drives in the community. We do, we're really kind of tied with getting people jobs through partnerships in entertainment. We have another organization that we work with called VME, Veterans in Media and Entertainment, which was the same group that brought me to the post in the first place. So we do a lot in our space, because one of the things a post should do is to really mirror the community that they're in. And since we are in the middle of Hollywood, we do a lot of work with Hollywood. On the national level, like I said, they do a lot of the lobbying. They recognize first responders nationally. That actually goes all the way down to the post, but there can be a national police officer of the year, firefighter of the year, and so on. So we get into the military, we get into first responders, it's part of our law and order, and we also really get into children and youth. So there's it's a really big organization, and what I try to do when I talk to somebody is figure out what they're interested in, because I'm sure that we have something that we do that they could be really passionate about and really contribute and have a great team and a really big organization behind them to help them pursue their service passion.
That's a great point. The organization, it's a service organization, but it's so dynamic. It's changing with the needs of, the community that it's serving. Absolutely love that. So before we talk a little bit about the podcast, I recently saw a video cast of you guys that was posted on Twitter, I think, and looked pretty hilarious. But if anybody has a comment that is just tuning in or has been watching, please drop it, or a question, drop it in the comments. Someone from our editorial team will certainly answer that for you. So Tango Alpha Lima, tell us a little bit about, I'm not sure if you've been there from the start, but a little bit of a background behind the podcast, your favorite episodes, maybe some upcoming guests you're willing to tease. So all of it.
So here's how I got involved. It was being planned before I got involved, but I had attended at a national convention this meeting of the younger vets, and it's Legion younger, so under 105. So we were meeting, and in this room there were all these people, and they were not a lot of people, maybe 15 people in there, and they were complaining about everything, like Legion needs to do this, Legion needs to do that. And if you don't know me very well, but if you know me, to see me sit and not talk for 30 to 45 minutes of that is a lot. Like, I normally jump in and say something, but I was really taken aback at how many problems people could identify, and nobody, not one person while I was waiting, offered a solution. And so finally I just stopped and I said, I have to say something. And I hear all of the complaints, and I'm sure a good percentage of them are valid. But I was always taught, if you have a complaint, you should have a proposed path towards solvency. You should have something to fix it. So I had committed on the spot to going back to LA and starting my own podcast. So I did that, and I stayed in touch with some of the staff that were at that meeting, and they were aware of what I was doing, and eventually they asked me to join this crazy thing they're starting, this Tango Alpha Lima. I don't even know if it had a name yet, but and I got to join up with Mark and Ashley, and as you've seen, we talk about things, we get a little serious, but we also get a little crazy. They like to talk about nerdy things, and I pretend to fall asleep on camera because I just can't with them sometimes, because they just go way. I mean, I don't know what they're talking about. And we have fun like that, but we also really talk about issues. We're really starting new conversations that the American Legion hasn't typically been in. And we've gone we tackled the the policing issue this past year. We're doing things with pride. We're doing things with gender issues and military sexual trauma, and really honing in on some dysfunctional things within the military, which the American Legion typically wouldn't do. But I think to bring it full circle, we come with hope for progress and some personal takes on what we think might be solvency based, how we think we can move forward and make these situations better. We try never to just be doom and gloom about it, and I think that's what I like most about it. Now, if you're asking about favorite shows, you're asking me to choose between my children, but I really do. I like all of them, but some of the episodes that I just spoke about, like we did the two-parter about policing, I know that it was one of my favorites because it was the feedback that I got is that it was something people never expected from the American Legion. People didn't expect that they would allow us to delve into those kinds of issues on that show. So that was so that's gratifying to me, to have a real impact on the organization and the members and the public who look to the American Legion for leadership, and to be a part of helping them lead is amazing to me. So episodes that we can do that are some of my favorites. And I will say the tease you asked about coming up, I will say this. This is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And we are taking on a big task. We're doing 20 stories for 20 days leading up to the 20th anniversary. So we're doing a lot of extra recording right now. And I don't know if I'm supposed to tell who these people are, but we have some amazing stories from crazy awesome people. Like, I'm fanboying on a few of them because they're people you've read about in the press, and they do amazing things, and how 9/11 affected them, whether it got them to join, whether they were already in and it changed the scope of what service meant to them. And it's really good stuff so far. And I think that the whole series, all 20 of them, are going to be amazing, and I hope that people will tune into those. The only thing you're going to miss is it's a little more serious and to the point, and we won't, obviously we're not going to be joking around with people talking about their 9/11 stories. So if you want that, you should jump in now and get to know us, and then be ready for that coming up in September, actually late August, right, with the math.
I am so looking forward to that. That sounds like a wonderful series. So everyone, please subscribe to Tango Alpha Lima by the American Legion. Love it. So the reason that we're here, everyone, subscribe to the Security Clearance Careers podcast. It's ClearanceJobs podcast. For every subscriber on Google and Apple, we will donate $1 to the 100 Miles for Hope campaign with the American Legion. So let's talk a little bit about the campaign. I know we touched on it last time we did a LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're tuning in. So tell us a little bit about the campaign. We're getting close to our time limit. If you guys have questions, drop them in the comments, but tell us a little bit about the campaign and what it means for you and why people should get involved.
Well, it started last year. The national commander wanted to do something to encourage fitness and just movement to keep people healthy, and also it brings together people who are really far apart, because we're all doing this, and we're connected through an app, and some people are on website instead of the app, and it's a really great thing to help support our VA&R, which are our service officers, and helping veterans who need rehabilitation and things like that. So this year was even better for me because I caught the COVID 25. Probably, I won't step on a scale, but it was time when we were able to leave the house, to get out of the house and do some things to get back into fighting shape and starting with the 100 miles for hope. This year, it's not just 100 miles. It's activity based. You need to do 100 activities, and that could be walking, running every day. It could be videos, or they even have mental health, like with meditation. And if you do like 3 a day, you're maxing out. So there's a lot of ways for people to get involved, and it's amazing what you guys are doing to help support that. Clearance Jobs is awesome. I mean, you guys are new to me, but you're really endeared to me right now. So I appreciate all that you guys are doing for this, and it doesn't go unnoticed, and it's 100% appreciated.
Sure. Well, it's partnerships like this that really, foster our ecosystem, helping everybody out, lifting each other up. That is what we're here to do, and that's what makes us all successful, in my opinion. So again, I'm really excited about this campaign. Time is almost up though, folks. So please subscribe to the Security Clearance Careers podcast. Subscribe to Tango Alpha Lima. Follow up with your American Legion post. Everybody shout out yours in the comments. I want to hear where you're from. Jeff, thank you so much for joining me today for this chit chat. I'm looking forward to all the upcoming episodes that you and your friends are going to be hosting on Tango Alpha Lima. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their Wednesday.